the goal of NAMI really, and I want to first thank Jim Levy, who you'll be hearing from for that wonderful work on the video. But really, the goal of NAMI is a grassroots organization. It's comprised of mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, and individuals themselves who have experienced mental health challenges. As I'll talk about a little later, I myself have been treated for mental health challenges. My diagnosis is have been major depression and anxiety, but it's comprised of people. We really think of ourselves as sort of a family. We're all in this together. As you'll see from the following folks, each of us has a little different story. But what we found is we joined together. NAMI supports education, advocacy, support. NAMI has two family support groups. I've always said that actually years ago, there was a big billboard on West Genesee Street saying mental illness is a family affair. 1 out of 5 individuals in this country are affected with mental illness. And with the strain and isolation and with the pandemic, things are even worse in terms of people feeling alone, people feeling isolated. So NAMI sponsors two family support groups. They have this Mind of Mine, which is where an individual online, of course, everything's Zoom now, but persons who themselves are experiencing some mental health challenges can get together and talk with other people who, in many ways, are going through the same thing. In my own struggles with mental illness and being a NAMI member, one of the things that I noticed and felt very strongly is that sometimes we feel all alone. Sometimes we feel that we're the only ones. So I know that I'm a family member. I have two daughters, wonderful daughters, one of which has a mental health challenge. And again, I've found so much support and encouragement through NAMI, as have they. NAMI has the Ending the Silence campaign, and it used to be, and still is to a large extent, that oh, I've got to, it's quiet, we're ashamed, and NAMI fights against that. We fight the stigma. There's a NAMI anti-stigma campaign. For years, there's been a reluctance to talk about mental illness because it's something bad or something that shouldn't happen. This Saturday, a couple of the board members, we went over to the Liverpool Library and we hung the Nothing to Hide exhibit. And it's a wonderful program showing family members. Again, mental illness, mental health challenges are a family affair. You're not alone, as the video said. NAMI advocates for increased funding for mental health. I know that Marla Burns, the president of NAMI Syracuse, was talking about how throughout, not just us, but our advocacy and the others, the county is going to be spending more resources to get help for young folks who have felt the stress and the isolation and so on. And actually, NAMI New York State was one of the forerunners in getting Governor Cuomo to sign the ban on solitary confinement. Such a horrible, terrible thing. But through NAMI's advocacy and others, that ban has been signed. So a little bit about myself. I spent 45 years as a licensed clinical social worker. I was diagnosed with mental illness about 30 years ago. It's interesting, because the old question, is it genes or is it whatever? 2 days before I turned 50, which was a long time ago, I met my birth mother. I was born in Canada, came to the United States. Anyway, I found that my mom suffers from anxiety as well as my other siblings, one of my other siblings. So it really is a genetic thing too. So, but NAMI, again, what we fight about in NAMI is stigma. Stigma is wrong. So I became symptomatic after going through a catastrophic family event. Um, and I was involved in medication and therapy for 3 years. Now, I don't take medication, nor am I involved in therapy now, but I found them both to be extremely helpful. My own road to recovery, and it's interesting. Uh, Way back in college, about 30 years ago, 40 years ago, I took philosophy, and someone said, "We never are; we're always becoming." And maybe that sounds sort of silly, but I think that talks about our ability to grow, our ability to change, our ability to get better. For me, to get better, there's a big fancy term called neuroplasticity, which basically means your brain can change. There is hope. There is hope. Years ago, my therapist talked about shilts. And what's a shilt? It's a combination of shame and guilt. And I felt shilty for what I was going through. Today, sometimes I feel like, at my age, I shouldn't have anxiety. I shouldn't have different kind of stuff. But although I'm not in treatment, I would be lying if I said sometimes that anxiety pops its ugly head up. And I'm still working on, and it's a daily process of accepting myself for who I am. And that's real difficult sometimes because we think we should be better. We think we should be this. And someone once said, I said to someone, you shilt yourself. You know, you think you should be this, we think you should be that. But I tell folks that I am living, breathing, overeating proof that you can get better, that you can heal with support and encouragement. Um, One of my favorite things, I'm going to end with this, and I don't know how many of you are Dr. Seuss fans, but this is a real short thing, but I find it so helpful and so full of hope. And this is something actually one of the people I used to see in therapy pointed out to me. It's called My Many Colored Days. It's a little corny, but it has real deep meaning because I think some of us, at least myself, and my bet is some of the other panelists have been real up and real down and felt like, oh my God, this is never going to end. Anyway, so this is My Many Colored Days by Dr. Seuss. Some days are yellow, some are blue. On different days, I'm different too. You'd be surprised how many ways I change on different colored days. On bright red days, how good it feels to be a horse and kick my heels. On bright blue days, I flap my wings and sing, sing, sing. Some days, of course, feel sort of brown. Then I feel slow and low, low down. Then comes a yellow day, and I'm a busy, buzzing bee. Gray days, everything's gray. I watch, but nothing moves today. Then all of a sudden, I'm a circus clown. On my orange days, that's how I feel. Green days, deep, deep in the sea. Cool and quiet, fresh, that's me. On purple days, I'm sad, I groan. I grab my tail, I walk alone. But when my days are happy pink, it's great to jump and just not think. Then comes my black days, mad and loud. I howl and growl at every cloud. Then comes a mixed up day and wham, I don't know who or what I am. But it all turns out all right, you see, and I go back to being me. And again, I'll end with that, but there is hope. There is a NAMI Syracuse can be a wonderful support. 487-2085 and give us a call. We'd love to hear from you and we'd love to support you. Thank you.